Hey guys, old news by now. Sorry we spent all of Monday down hanging out with the Funhouse boys, shooting some trends shows. So look out for those in the very near future. We're very excited to do that. But yeah, late at night on Monday now, so sorry about the
Yeah, so it's probably Tuesday. What the fuck are you doing watching this video, you lazy ass? Get down to the polls.
Yeah, and now, anyways, the past weekend, it was very long, very stupid. People were still out in Halloween costumes on Saturday. Then most of the country had to turn its clocks back so that we can all be depressed as fuck when it's dark at like 5 p.m. Oh, and before all that started, Blizzard really pissed off their hardcore PC fan base by having the audacity to announce a mobile version of Diablo instead of something that they were never going to announce this year anyway.
So I feel like we should just say exactly what happened on Friday. Most of you already know what happened, though. And the short journey to that point is also important because it once again teaches us all a lesson in misplaced hype building, dishonest clickbait news articles, and the industry in general. Now again, you're not going to agree with a lot of this because being angry at a company worth billions of dollars, it's way more fun. And we get that because it
is way more fun.
The only people in this world that you can hate without any guilt whatsoever are big billion-dollar companies. I don't want to take that away from you. I just want to give you maybe a different perspective.
Yeah.
We would be doing you a disservice if we didn't at least attempt to contextualize all this. And once we do that, maybe then we'll join in on the beatdown. Is that cool?
Yeah, we don't go too easy, don't worry. Now, this past weekend, people paid upwards of $200 to attend Blizzard's yearly convention alongside what you would assume would be a hefty bill for travel and accommodations, depending on where these people were coming from. And some of these people, they took time and money out of their lives to check out this yearly celebration. They were hardcore Diablo fans, eager to hear any kind of update regarding one of their favorite games. But shouldn't their expectations have been tempered a little bit, considering most outlets, including covered this, including a statement from Blizzard themselves, and they all hinted that there would be no announcement regarding, at the very least, Diablo 4?
So yeah, with most fan bases, people, they really like to pick and choose the information they get, and they tend to latch on to the parts they like, and they ignore the parts they don't like.
Yeah.
In early October, before a lot of the bigger rumors were cooled down by Blizzard themselves, there were articles that used what we like to call weaponized clickbait to stir up page views and excitement from eager Diablo fans by alluding to the fact, but not outright confirming, that Diablo 4 might actually be announced at BlizzCon 2018. Here are some headlines from the last month.
Diablo 4 potentially teased on Blizzard Store.
Ooh.
Did Blizzard just tease the next-gen Diablo game?
I hope so.
BlizzCon schedule hints at massive Diablo news.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Diablo 4 could be MMORPG, announcement hinted by BlizzCon 2018. The BlizzCon schedule definitely makes it seem like Diablo 4 is coming.
Oh, baby.
And BlizzCon 2018 schedule hints at big things for Diablo.
So there it is. It's coming, baby.
The actual link for that Polygon article, the last one there, even though it didn't mention Diablo 4 in the title, the actual link in your browser is BlizzCon 2018 schedule Diablo 4 Blizzard.
So that settles it.
We're reading between the lines, right?
Yeah. But no, it's not entirely the hardcore Diablo fan base's fault for being overly hyped for the part of BlizzCon ceremony that was titled Diablo What's Next. I mean, everyone was getting hard thanks to an industry full of fluffers for the better part of 3 weeks. And if they had only read all those articles and none of the follow-ups that were released over the following days, you could definitely understand why a lot of them would be upset.
What do you mean the industry lied to me?
I've been holding this nut in for BlizzCon all month. Anyway, yeah, however, there were a bunch of articles, including ones from the same outlets, who had to let all the air out of their stories with headlines like these.
Blizzard is now effectively saying Diablo 4 will not be shown at BlizzCon.
Oh, man.
Don't expect big Diablo news at BlizzCon 2018.
Oh, man, for real?
Diablo 4 probably won't be revealed at BlizzCon 2018.
But.
Blizzard hoses down Diablo 4 reveal rumors.
I'm all wet.
And Diablo 4 won't be at BlizzCon 2018.
But what if it is?
Now, who are fans to trust? The news companies who got their hopes up, or those same exact news companies who crushed their hopes and dreams regarding the exact same game?
Well, the truth is in the middle.
Yeah,
and it actually was.
So how about Blizzard themselves? Because one of the actual sources for the updated news articles about not expecting Diablo 4 was actually because of an official post by Blizzard to their Diablo forums that was partly in response to the news articles who were getting everyone excited about expecting Diablo 4. Basically, we're saying, once again, gaming news kind of sucks, and you should only watch us.
Yeah.
Or Funhouse, I guess, because they have a gaming news show now, and they can beat us up.
Yeah, they're all very, very strong. In their statement, Blizzard say that they've seen a lot of rumors flying around, and that they know what you're hoping for, and that they can only say that good things come to those who wait, but evil things often take longer. To which all the fans in attendance at BlizzCon apparently assumed was about 2 weeks. Evil takes 2 weeks. Got it.
Nice, nailed it.
Now, to be fair, they did say they were working on multiple projects, but then they very boldly said that they aren't ready to announce all of them. Another thing that Diablo fans aren't entirely at fault for, because Blizzard could have just shit out a motion graphic with the number 4 on it, and the room would have all collectively like shit themselves and started making out with each other.
Yeah, they could have done that.
They could have done that, and they didn't.
No.
Instead, they announced that there would be a new Diablo game, but it was one that takes place between Diablo 2 and 3, and, small detail here, it's exclusively for mobile.
Yeah, so the game, Diablo Immortal, it's billed as a full-fledged multiplayer action RPG for your mobile device that will include most of the playable classes from Diablo 3, but guys, don't worry, it'll be available for both iOS and Android.
What about Windows Phone?
Wow, those still exist?
No.
Cool.
They don't.
Hey, you know what? That probably sounds great to like 80% of the world out there who don't live and die by gaming announcements and who typically float through the gaming landscape without getting built up by the hype surrounding releases or potential announcements, or people that actually their phone is one of the only things they play on. Diablo for phones, hey, look, that's just fine. Nothing wrong with that in general.
Yeah.
People here, they're claiming that they took issue with this mainly because it was announced at BlizzCon to a crowd of people who 1000% were absolutely not the target audience for this announcement.
Yeah.
Announcing a mobile game for a franchise that people love in a room full of people who have played this franchise for years and years, mainly on PC, probably not going to end well. And to put another point in the audience's basket, Blizzard should have totally known that this was going to be the reaction, and later on
Read the room.
they did say that they expected a little bit of this. Now, if they had announced this at like E3 or PAX or something, fine, whatever, who gives a shit? People are going to play it, that's fine. But again, grouping up Diablo fanboys
Gather round.
for a what's next and only giving them a mobile game, that was a doomed quest from the beginning.
Yeah. So yeah, as you would expect, the reaction both online and in person at the event was bad. And the fallout of the whole thing has brought a whole lot of negative attention to the gaming community and game developers as well, because in the minutes and hours that followed the hollow thud of a mobile game drop, both sides reacted like little brats. Still though, maybe we're dicks too.
We are, yeah.
Yeah, because we do seem to lean a bit closer to the fact that companies should know when their dedicated fans are pissed. If there was no negative reaction and people didn't give them shit for this announcement, then this type of thing would continue. Completely unabated.
Yeah, they'd just be like, oh, cool.
They would take that
People
as
have fun with this.
a tacit endorsement that all their games should be mobile.
Everything should be born mobile, because this is the born mobile generation,
It
baby.
is. Well, Blizzard, they certainly found out what their almost always loyal fans thought during the presentation when they were met with audible boos and a Q&A session that resulted in 2 quotes heard round the gaming world.
So let's start with Red Shirt Guy. He came up to the mic towards the end of the broadcast Q&A and very bluntly said this.
Hey, just was wondering, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
And that was met with laughter and applause from the already stirred up crowd. But before that whole moment came an honest question from someone who had just wondered if maybe this Diablo experience would ever, he was trying to find the silver lining.
Yeah.
Maybe this, would this ever end up on PC despite being mobile exclusive for the time being? So the response from the stage was that there are no plans to bring Diablo Immortal to the PC, which again was met with lots of boos from the audience. It was the team's response to the booing that has become the latest in a long line of memeable corporate fuck-ups, which has now dethroned EA's quote about a sense of pride and accomplishment from last year. Because while the crowd was still booing, they decided to forget that people specifically wanted a new game on PC and just responded with,
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have
Everyone's
phones,
got a phone.
right?
You can play on your tablet too.
So everything aside with how everyone acted, that's still a big yikes coming from the people on stage.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. The people, they paid to be there, and even if they weren't so vocally angry about the fact that this was a mobile game, you don't just be like, don't you guys have phones?
Do you think they would have been more or less mad if it was a Nintendo Switch exclusive rather than a phone exclusive?
I think they still would have been mad, yes.
But like, which one would have made them more mad?
The mobile one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, then at the very end, it was very clear that the lead game designer, Wyatt Chang, he started taking things very personally, and it was pretty brutal to watch him nearly be brought to tears in front of this otherwise adoring crowd. They had turned on him. That's definitely a tough thing to watch, and while it's obvious that there should be criticism from the fan base that will help guide future decisions and products, the people in attendance were pretty heartless to a company that has, in fact, brought them joy for multiple decades. But yeah, people are not happy, and when the trailers for gameplay and cinematics were released onto their official YouTube pages, Blizzard was met with an absolutely ridiculous amount of hate and backlash, with the videos getting hundreds of thousands of dislikes. That'll show them. Then, in what people are saying is an attempt to reduce the amount of dislikes the trailers received, they were apparently taken down and re-uploaded at various points.
Easiest way to get rid of those dislikes.
Clean slate, baby.
Though after everything had sort of cooled down over the weekend, reps for Blizzard started responding to some of the criticisms about the reveal, including a big one about how Immortal is basically a reskinned version of a game that's already available from a Chinese mobile developer named NetEase. The game in question is called Crusaders of Light, and that was launched last summer. And just based on both gameplay trailers, very, very easy to see the similarities between the two. Blizzard did in fact work with NetEase on Diablo Immortal, and that makes sense because Blizzard has worked with NetEase on a lot of other projects. But in an official statement, they attempted to assure people that Immortal was built, quote, from the ground up, and they said in an interview with Variety that it, quote, is not a reskin of any other game. Looks similar though. I don't know.
Again, that's not exactly the problem facing this game from Diablo fans.
That's not their hang-up.
Yeah, that's not. Whatever. In a response to the general backlash of the game, aside from it just looking like a reskin version of something the company behind it already released, Polygon spoke to Blizzard co-founder and executive producer Alan Adham about all of that, and here's what he had to say. We have said that we have multiple Diablo teams working on multiple Diablo projects, and that remains true, even after releasing Diablo 3 for Nintendo Switch and announcing Diablo Immortal. We still have multiple Diablo teams working on multiple unannounced Diablo projects. Diablo is a tentpole franchise for us, and it always will be. We love it. We hope our fans understand what we're saying when we say that.
I think he's saying eventually one day there will be Diablo 4.
Yeah, well, no, he's like, because people are acting like, oh, this is where the franchise has ended up.
And they assume that they diverted all attention to this mobile game.
He's saying, look, there's other like full-fledged PC Diablo games in development, but we decided while you wait for those, we'd give you a little something nice that we can all have fun with, and I'm sorry it's not what you wanted, but the real thing's still on the way.
He continued, the world is evolving both geographically and demographically. Younger folks now, many of them, mobile is their primary gaming device. And then around the world in many regions, it's their primary gaming device. And so it's always been our aspiration to bring games to them. We've been around for 3 decades, and we've been making games on many different platforms during that time, going all the way back to Amiga and Commodore 64, to the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. So to us, this is another gaming platform. The opportunity to bring this to an all-new audience or to bring it to players who have shifted their play patterns to mobile and bring them all together with an authentic Diablo experience, it's super exciting for us.
He then goes on to talk about the fact that playing is believing and that they hope people will change their minds. Also, that they did prepare for some backlash, but that it, quote, usually starts with a little bit of sort of uncertainty and then we win over our community over time.
You guys will get used to it.
And they're probably not wrong. I mean, the outright hatred will eventually die down naturally, as it always does. And then that fan base can remain excited for if and when Diablo 4 or a remake of Diablo 1 or 2 is announced. Because it is released.
We all know that the hype building is the most fun part of any game.
It is.
Because the game in your head before it comes out could be anything.
It could. And then you find out, oh, it's just another game. But yeah, once those things happen, then they can be mad at whatever shortcomings are included in those games as well. Because they've built up a game they played 15 years ago in their mind to be better than anything could ever possibly be if released today.
Yes.
Sort of like when you watch Star Wars when you're 5 years old, and it's the best movie ever made. And then when a new Star Wars is released when you're 30, it's just doesn't hit the same sweet spots because you're 30.
Yeah. Well, the truth is, whenever this mobile game is released, which right now it only has a tentative release year of 2019, people, regardless of all the hatred or not, people are going to play it. And based on the response to almost every other big mobile game release, Blizzard are going to make a fuck ton of money off of this thing. So was this the right move for Blizzard as a company? Yeah. Was it the right move to announce it in front of the most dedicated fan base they could possibly have specifically for this franchise and who paid actual money to attend that conference or convention? Probably not the right decision.
No.
But you live and you learn, I guess.
No, I mean, like, this would be, like, so Square Enix, they released a couple years back, this series of games called the Go series, like Lara Croft Go, Hitman Go, Deuce EX Go. This would be like if they released Lara Croft Go at a Tomb Raider event at like a big fucking convention.
Yeah, but
They're
it was like before they released any of the brand new Tomb Raiders that came out, and it was just like,
we're bringing Lara Croft back in this little puzzle game that you can play on your phone.
Yeah, see, that's kind of the thing. But like I said, hey, Diablo for the Switch though, actually great.
Yeah.
Played it this weekend, works really well. I don't know what else to say about that. If you've already played it, you're not getting anything new. But and no cross-platform, which kind of sucks. But
I'm a Christian mom, and I won't be allowing my kids to play anything called Diablo, because did you know, Diablo in Spanish, that means the devil. Not in my house.
anyways, watch a brand new episode of News Dump over here, and also watch a brand new episode of Weekly Weird News. Don't forget to hit that join button if you want to become a contributing member of this channel. And we'll see you guys soon for Tech News Day.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.